and Boss Baby 2. Full disclosure, I didn't see the original Boss Baby for kind of obvious reasons. I mean, Alec Baldwin voicing this bossy little baby, why? Why would I want to see that? From what I'm told, it wasn't that bad, and obviously it earned enough money to earn a sequel. So what did I think of the other one? Of this one? So I've seen now, two animated / kids movies? Yeah, the Peter Rabbit 2, and I've seen Spirit, Extending the Crimson 2, or Spirit Untamed. And I think the words I used were harmless and benign for both of them. I will go so far as to say among the three, and I mean, it's weird to compare them because one's technically CGI animation with live action mixed, while the other two are just animated, but might as well put them in the same category. I will say that of the three, this one's probably the second best. I think Peter Rabbit 2 is still the best of the three. This is definitely well above Stallion of the Crimson, just because I keep saying Crimson. Which, oddly enough, there is a moment in the movie where a guy is in the theater watching that animated film, not CGI'd, but the original animated film. So there's a tie-in there to that reference. Spirit Untamed. Spirit Untamed was just so stock generic. Boss Baby's at least got some originality to it. I mean, what's the story? It's of a lovely lady, and she married our guy named Tim, and they had a kid. They had two kids. Obviously, and you get the general idea that Jeff Goldblum's character wants to create a baby revolution, if you will. Now, there's all these twists and turns here and there. And obviously, the brothers got to learn to bond again and whatnot. There are things that work in the movie, I feel. There are things that work in the movie. I do feel like the message that is actually very clear about, brothers growing apart and then, or anyone really growing apart, anyone who has a relationship with anyone growing apart and then, finding each other again. That message, I think, is handled pretty well, I think. There's also, a lesson about not growing up too fast. When we first meet the daughter, there's this scene where... her dad's just coming in to do a whole good night thing, and it's really kind of uncomfortable just how business oriented the kid is about, dad suddenly saying goodnight to her and, tucking her in and singing her a song and all of a sudden that they used to do. And obviously you will eventually grow out of those things, but she's so a matter of fact and sudden about it that's very jarring. But when we learn later what's going on in the movie, I'm like, okay, that's a lot more forgivable now. But that was still awkward as hell. But yeah, at the same time, it's like, how the hell wouldn't you recognize these kids? I mean, seriously. Jeff Goldblum puts it out, like, yeah, your constant bickering, jealousy even. It's clear you're working together, even brothers, perhaps. I mean, there's my Jeff Goldblum. I can actually kind of do it. I mean, there's a standard, there's standard us, but really, Jeff Goldblum, if you actually want to try to do a good Jeff Goldblum, it's kind of like doing good Arnold Schwarzenegger. You can't go all extreme like this, because that's just the exaggerated impression. No, if you want to do a good Arnold, you have to just talk like Arnold would. You just have to put the accent on. You know what I'm saying? You know what they're saying. Now again, my Arnold, it's not pitch perfect, but it's better than the actual, because that's just all razzmatazz, if you will. But yeah, with Jeff Goldblum, you need to just kind of do the nasal inflections while you're talking. And, you got to exaggerate. It's a little bit like walking, really. You have to exaggerate a few words here or there. But yeah, there's a reveal about the character of Christopher Walken that is not in the trailer. So whenever I'm not doing a spoiler review, I don't want to spoil anything unless it's something. Let me paste that sentence and rephrase it. I'm not going to reveal anything I think is like a major reveal in the story, like affects the entire story as you watch it. So like someone's like, when I did like my Army of the Dead review, someone got on someone kind of like, well, thanks for spoiling that he killed his wife. I'm like, yeah, I did that because that had no overall bearing on the story for me to reveal it, except to understand why she dislikes her dad. That was it. I'm never going to reveal something that is like detrimental to any like big reveal in the story. So I'm not going to reveal the plot reveal of Jeff Goldblum's character. I will say I did not see it coming because I wasn't thinking about that. And once it happened, I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense as an antagonist, but still weird. There's also this running theme that with a horse that what was it? Tim and oh god, I can't. Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin is like just overly dotes on his niece, and got her a pony. I'm like, you asshole, you got her a pony. Great, you better be funding how to feed that damn thing, because like we ain't paying for it. So yeah, there's that horse is pretty funny, and the funniest parts are honestly like some of the babies, because they're like infiltrating the school that Jeff Goldblum runs, and ironically that's where his daughter goes to school, and Alec Baldwin gets put with the babies, and we see all these weird baby characters. One's obsessed with glue. This really creepy ass one that's like, just like. It's actually very funny. It is actually quite funny. It is actually quite funny. There is enjoyment to be had. That said, however, it is still just an awkward premise. Like there's charm to it, certainly. Like you can tell, I didn't really hate it per se, but at the same time, it's not poorly written either. What's the best way I can describe how I feel about this movie? Because I didn't love the movie by any stretch of the means. I didn't love it. I would not watch it again. Unless I had a kid and they wanted to watch it. Something like that. Or was like, I was babysitting. It's like, what do you want to watch? But I was baby too. It's like, okay, I mean, it wasn't a bad film. There's certainly worse films. But I'm like, so it's not that I loved it, but I didn't hate it either. And I'm trying to articulate why it is I don't think it's amazing by any stretch of the means. And honestly, I think it is the premise. And I think it's just this whole idea of, the babies, they're talking, they're technically smarter than the adults. First off, Baby Geniuses did that bullshit. This does that better because those movies are atrocious. But I think that whole concept is just stupid. I really think, and they do the best they can with the concept. I think that's the case because it's like every baby in the world, it doesn't come from procreation. They come from the babies in the sky, apparently. At least that's how it's interpreted from the first one, and then all these babies eventually grow up. But it's like no, there are no logistics. The logistics of this world don't make any sense, really. And yeah, it's frankly a dumb concept that they do the most they can with. And I think that's my biggest problem. That this is a competent movie based on an insanely stupid. Like you might think like Legos as a movie is a stupid concept, but there's a lot of remember all the stuff that you built as a kid from Legos, not just the stuff that it came as that you're supposed to build, but you used your imagination and you made giant things. There's shows based on Lego making, so the concept of imagination is there for Legos. First off, this is an idea that's already been done to some degree, like there's this before place or whatever, and or babies being smarter than adults, again, Baby Geniuses as an example. It's one of those things where it's not a clever concept, but they do I think the most they can with it. And I think that's really what it is. Plus, there's like obvious things, like how do they not notice them? And, no one's batting an eye at a baby that can talk on this level. Like, what? Like, there's something, like, this doesn't make any sense. So, like, the logistics of the world don't quite add up. And it's just a kind of dumb premise to begin with. But for what it is perfectly okay. It's perfectly I think that's the best way to put it. It is perfectly adequate. And I've told the original Boss Babies kind of like that, too. So, yeah, take that for what it's worth. Overall, I don't regret seeing it. I've seen much worse in my time. I've seen much worse this year. So, actually, that's not true. I actually haven't seen that many bad things this year. But that's also because we're only just getting out of the pandemic, so I get to still be a bit pick and choose with it. Like, if this were just any normal year, I probably would have also been going to see The Purge, I would probably be going to see Conjuring 3. All this, like almost every wide release film that comes out in an average year, I do my best to go out and see. But right now, I get to be a bit more picky and choosy, and I'm kind of appreciating that because it's saving me from, truly awful movies. Like, I can't say I've seen anything truly awful this year. The year's still young, though. We're only a little over halfway through it, so we'll wait and see how it all pans out. But yeah, well, it was fine. It was okay. There wasn't much I could remember for trailers. Was there anything animated? I mean, I was expecting the Paw Patrol, but I got in a little late. So I know I walked in on a trailer that I had seen before. All the trailers I had seen before. That's the thing. I'm trying to remember anything coming out soon. Oh, Space Jam, the new legacy. I'm looking up. As someone who enjoys the original Space Jam, welcome to the Space Jam. All right. Hey, ladies, yeah. Come on, who doesn't? Don't get me wrong. There are people who don't like Space Jam. I get it, but I mean, as a '90s kid, I remember watching that film a lot, so it holds a bit of a nostalgic place in my heart. So I'm at least looking forward to seeing what they do with the film. I am. Oh God, it's most of what we got is like stuff that's just coming out like soon. So I'm trying to remember what's coming out soon. We got that Black Widow, everything's better at the movies and stuff like that. So it wasn't a real trailer, but Black Widow comes out next week. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to not seeing that trailer. Just like Within the Heights, I'm looking forward to not seeing the Black Widow trailer anymore. Just like I'm looking forward to seeing the film. I know I got at least like 2 or 3 trailers before the movie. Like I said, I got in late because I'll be honest, I wasn't worried about getting on time for this one. What were they? I'm just trying to rack my brains on that real quick. I'm trying to remember because one was like rated like PG for some peril and like mild language. But I think that was a Space Jam trailer. What did I walk in on? Was it even animated? Or was it just like a kid's film? I'm blanking. I used to write down these things, but we've had repeats of so many trailers that are not getting any new trailers at the moment. So, no real point in me for, writing trailers down. But anyway, yeah, that was my thoughts on Boss Baby 2. It was perfectly average. Again, the bonding moments, the relationship moments are actually nice. Them working things out and stuff like that. I've seen it done 1,000 times better, but it's still perfectly adequate. Had some funny moments. The animation's pretty good. Oh, I should give it that too. The animation's pretty good. Jeff Goldblum is also delightfully wacky. I should give him. I need to give. You always got to give the Goldblum props because he's delightfully wacky. Because he's Jeff Goldblum. If you don't like Jeff Goldblum, there's something wrong with your soul, man. Who doesn't love the Goldblum? That's one big pile of baby poo. So that's not a joke, but obviously I'm paraphrasing. So yeah, it's fine if you got kids. I think there's a few better movies out for kids right now. Like I do think Peter Rabbit 2 is better than this, and you'll probably you'll get a better emotional vibe, I think, resonating from that. Although people are enjoying it in the theater for what it's worth. And I even heard parents and even the kids looking at that scene I mentioned with the daughter and going like, "What? No, it's like, don't grow up too fast." Like, no, it's like even they recognize like there's something wrong with this. So good on you. Maybe there's some hope for the future. Anyway, though, Black Widow's next week. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I have a who would win tomorrow. I'm gonna do Loki tomorrow as well. A little behind on that. I've been in a little bit of a funk emotional. I'm fine. Don't worry. But I'm I was it's been a bit of a rough week. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Like I said, who would win and Loki tomorrow. What if on Saturday. Pokemon teams, box office on Sunday. And occasionally I'll do like an extra random video on Sunday, but those are like my 2 main ones. Like the Pokemon, I've actually really come to like doing the Pokemon one, so that's now kind of a main part of this of the week. Plus, it's a video that requires very little prep. I just need the images and just need to know how to create the team. So that's it. This is not only is it a fun video for me to do, it's a very low prep video, which I very much appreciate. So yeah, anyway, until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks later. And Black Widow is next week. I'm looking forward to I can finally see Black Widow. So thanks for watching, and see you later.